We're in year 3 of this Mesa Series grill and year 2 of this Eminence Series grill, both Monument grills, and we're going to go through common failure points that you find in grills. First common failure point on grills is doors. And as you'll see, each of these are operating well. And I'll throw one caveat in here that we do keep these grills both covered with the covers that are provided when you purchase the grill, as well as we have cover overhead. But I do believe, using grills for decades now, if you kept these grills covered, you would not have a problem with the rust that forms, the rickety doors, the doors that don't align properly anymore, don't latch properly, all of those frustrations. So thumbs up on the doors. The next common failure point is wheels. Each of the wheels are holding up well, all of the locks still work, and even in the Mesa Series is carrying a lot less weight. Therefore, the wheels aren't quite as heavy duty, but they're rolling and holding up fine. But these rubberized wheels in the Eminence Series are absolutely smooth and amazing. And as you can see with all these grills, we're constantly pulling tools and equipment out. Which one are we going to use for which cook, which style? So wheels, also thumbs up. None of the knobs or handles on this have shown that cheaply made where they end up being rattly or not working at all or falling off. They all still operate smoothly, don't leak, valves are solid, no problems with the controls across the grill. Common failure point, and I wouldn't expect this at 1.5 years and in 3rd year on this grill. Still the original battery, haven't replaced the batteries, no corrosion. The igniter and the controls, all thumbs up. Here we are on what's probably our first sticking point on the grill, and it's really just cosmetic and potentially operator error. We've done a lot of frying on this outdoor burner here, and it has warped. It doesn't sit flush any longer. Not a big deal. It works fine, not rusting over, holding up well, but cosmetically, it doesn't quite align as well as it did when we pulled it out of the box. Let's take a second and talk about the side sear stations. These are one of the best features that I've found on this grill, especially if you're doing a reverse sear. Finishing off sear, these are amazing for cooking steaks, burgers, everything that's been slow cooked in the main body and then moved over to the side sear station, and it makes perfect grill marks. I am completely satisfied with the performance of the side sear. You do manually have to keep up with any of the grease that drops down into this area of the side sear station. It's kind of a mucky process of scooping it out, but there is no trap under here to capture that. And we've probably only done it 2 or 3 times because it's not a whole lot of cooking over here. It's a matter of a minute to sear, but keeping up with that is important. Moving on to the inside of the grill, we've got cast iron and stainless steel in the other grill here. And I will say I love the stainless steel more than the cast iron grates. Easier to clean, easier to maintain, obviously stainless steel versus cast irons. And a next failure point is the tenting over the burners. These burners are holding up well. None of the pitting, warping that I've experienced with Weber heavily, where I think it's designed into the product because they want you buying those new tents. These are holding up very well, and I have no complaints so far about the burner tenting. This is a little bit of a sticking point with the Mesa Series, and that is with the thermometer that comes with it. It has fogged over. It still operates fine. Bit of not really an eyesore, but I question, did I do something? Or is this a design flaw that ends up fogging over? Is it getting smoke from inside the grill going into here and it's condensing on the glass on the inside? I don't know, but it does take a little bit to look through it and see what that temperature is. Both of the grills, especially this Eminence series, is an absolute tank. And all of the hinges, even that is as solid as can be. The rubber feet, those haven't disappeared. No warping. Everything is opening and closing on this Eminence series. And for the value, a like or equivalent grill in Weber for this would be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to get all of these features, the number of BTUs that come with it. So this being what I believe is their premier grill, it is built extremely well, holding up well, the hinges, no complaints about its performance. And for the Mesa, same thing. Not as heavy, but still, I don't have anything to complain about as far as how well the grill is holding up. Since we first got this grill, we've also gotten this accessory, and this griddle that comes along with it turns it into a flat top griddle and fits perfectly over a burner and has one grate that comes out, removes, works, turns this regular gas grill into a flat top. The interior's holding up well. Excuse my mess, but that's what these are for, is for storing away. Got the rotisserie stored down in here. Next, we'll talk about the electronics that come with this grill, which is kind of an unusual thing to say. Everything seems to be working fine with it. All the probes work, the gas empty sensor is still working, which reminds me, I'm on yellow. I need to get a new tank. And everything seems to be working fine, including this unique feature, which is the lights that come on this grill. I was worried about the amount of fuel we were going to wind up using in this grill, but I'm pleased to say you just select how many burners you need, and it performs at the same rate of fuel consumption as the Mesa series. So that was a fear that was unfounded. There is an extremely minor amount of tarnish on the stainless steel on the Eminence. Not enough to bother me, and I'm sure it's where I left something that stayed on that spot for too long and it caused that stainless to rust. But otherwise, there's a little bit of corrosion right there next to that control. But other than that, it's holding up extremely well. While we're waiting for that griddle to heat up, if you were to demand from me which of these two grills would I pick, it would absolutely be the Eminence 605 grill because of the versatility. And we do feed crowds here periodically where we fill this entire grill up, and the ability to set the heat and controls across are supreme on this grill, so you prevent those flare-ups. Pin me down, nice grill, don't get me wrong, but this has the bells and whistles, the infrared, the large rotisserie, the large cooking surface, the ability to control across so many burners. This is the one for me. And it looks like we're just about heated up on this griddle. Let's go ahead and do a quick cook on that so you can see that in action. So YouTube says that this video is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and over here is a playlist you might just enjoy. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.